Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the changes that have been made to Demonology Warlock on the War Within Alpha that hit earlier today, I guess yesterday at this point, as well as the changes that hit to the Soul Harvester tree, I think the Hellcaller tree, and a bit to Affliction. A lot to go over. I'm sorry I'm a little out of it. Just had a 10-hour stream, looking at all the stuff I'm rating. But yeah, we're going to review it all, give you my thoughts on it, that kind of stuff. And later on this week, a couple days, get some feedback rolling on it, because we likely need some. But either way, let's get into it. Alright, so there's a lot to unpack here, Warlock-wise, hero talent-wise, AF-wise, Demonology-wise. I'm going to read over the post briefly they put out talking about why they're making these changes, and then look at the actual changes, give you my thoughts on them, and go from there. So, hey, what's up, Warlocks, basically. Destro's coming in a few weeks, give or take, which is going to be cool. Here is Demonology. So, Demonic Cores, Doom, Nether Portal are the main focus here. Doom is a new iteration of Doom. We'll get to that in a minute here. Portal is gone. Spoilers ahead. And Demonic Cores. So, basically talking about here, further reducing your Demonic Core economy, having less Demonic Cores than we have currently on retail. This has been a thing they've been trying to do for the past few patches, honestly. We had, our core generation was pretty crazy in 10.0, in 10.1, but it was drawn back, I think, 10.15, 10.2, and we're trying to draw back on it a bit more here. Now, what they're doing to fix this is they're removing Demonic Knowledge, which is the talent point, I'll change to it right here, for Demonology, that causes your Hand of Gul'dan to give you a chance to give you a Demonic Core stack, right? Now, there is obviously, like, there was Demonic Knowledge being here, it's gone. It's a 10% chance, so there's that as a source of Demonic Cores. Your Dog expiring gives you 2 Demonic Cores. Power Siphon gives you two Demonic Cores. And Pets randomly expiring as well also gives you Demonic Cores, right? Imps, this and that, whatever. As far as hitting our Demonic Core economy, if they wanted to hitting any 4 of those, like if they're gonna hit one of those 4, I think hitting Knowledge is likely the least impactful change to our core economy. I'm saying it in a good way, to leave as many cores around as possible that they could have done. A 10% chance is 1 in 10 Hand of Gul'dans on average is going to give you a Demonic Core. It's there, but it's not incredibly noticeable. In the end, I don't want it to be nerfed at all, but hopefully that's all they're going to take out. They mentioned we're removing Demonic Knowledge and all that. Over the course of Alpha and Beta, we'll be continuing to tune Demonology to compensate for this change. It will make adjustments down the road if need be to the rate of Demonic Cores. So we'll see where that goes. That is gone. Doom has been reworked. We'll look at it in a minute here. Basically, they said we're open to feedback on it, and want you to think about when you hit Doom, this and that. It's an interesting version of it. We'll get to it in a minute here, but we'll see where it goes. Nether Portal is gone. The big thing here, it talks about peaks and valleys. It hasn't been played since 10.1, but whatever. It is what it is. The thing I want to hit on here, we'd like to spend some time workshopping a new design for Nether Portal and have it return as a healthier addition to Demonology's toolkit in the future. That's really interesting to me. In a cool way. I liked Portal as far as like thematics. I thought it was really cool, summoning a wave of demons out. I hated the shard rotation, spending 1 shard. The Pit Lord profile was indeed very toxic when it came to like peaks and valleys, but I liked the thematics of Nether Portal. So if they can do it like a 2-minute cooldown, just hit it and demons pour out of it, that'd be cool. I don't know if this means like later on in Alpha or in Beta, or if in like Nightmare or whatever it's called, Midnight, in like 2027 or 26 whenever it comes out, who knows. But that was an interesting point to mention there. So getting into the changes here, I want to say off the bat here, this change basically everybody missed. We were all pretty disappointed when we saw this. Diabolist. Demonic Art now lasts 60 seconds for each greater demon, was 20 seconds. This is whatever, it was going to be changed at some point regardless. So when I saw this change, I was like, this really sucks, because our demons, you know, they were, or I guess are 20 seconds long from Diabolist, every single one. And the cool part about that was you had so many demons just cycling through so quickly over and over playing Demonology, right? So this is Alpha. I want to show you that that is indeed still the case. 2017. So what they changed here, they did not change the ritual you reduce when you spend shards. They changed the actual duration of the effect you get when the ritual expires. The effect what you get is the actual pet itself. This expires now. Here is this for a minute. The next shard you spend, someone's an Overfiend, a Pit Lord, whatever, and that is that. I cast it here. There's a ritual again for 20. So this is actually a buff. It's not a huge nerf. It's hard to decipher what we're talking about because hero talents reference demonic souls, succulent shards, demonic rituals, demonic arts, diabolic arts. They increase the duration of the pet itself. I'm assuming to make it easier in Mythic Plus and things, if you leave combat, that buff won't expire after 20 seconds. It's now a minute. So it's essentially either nothing, like no net gain or loss, or a buff, depending what you're doing. So don't worry about that. Diabolist still churning through pets. Very cool. Solid. We are good there, right? Hellcaller. Mark of Xavier has been redesigned. Agony and Wither. This is Affliction in Destro. Damage increase, whatever. They've reduced the cooldown of Vile Taint and Cataclysm by 5 seconds whenever you're playing that talent. This talent used to be whenever you applied Agony to a mob that had Agony on it, it would apply it again somewhere else, I think. I actually said in the feedback video, just make it reduce Vile Taint and Cataclysm. It's fine. That'd be a better change. I wish it was 10 seconds for Vile Taint and Cata, but even if it was 10 seconds, you would need like a 15-second Vile Taint, essentially cooldown-wise, to maintain Agonies permanently in AoE. So either way, a reduction, I'll take it. Wish it was 10. Wouldn't mind it being 10. But the way I look at it, it's basically going to have a 25-second Vile Taint, which you can go to a pack and maybe cast your Vile Taint when you're pulling it, versus waiting 5 seconds for that half-minute Vile Taint. Same with Cata. But, you know, there's that. So, not sure what's going to change rotationally for the AF and single target. Probably not much at all, but, you know, it's there. Some quality of life. Take it. You know, it's free, right? Channel Demon Fire and Internal Combustion now function with Wither, which is cool to see. They didn't previously, but there's that. Also, maybe possibly saying CDF and Combustion are staying around for Destro, but we're not sure. They might go away. One very cool change here I want to show you all that was not mentioned here, but better than all of those, is Absolute Corruption and Wither. So they, if I can close this out properly, they are now working. Wither is now permanent with Absolute Corruption. Now it is actually bugged on Alpha right now, where it is literally, it won't even tick down. And if I apply Wither again, it increases stacks. It will increase stacks indefinitely until I stop. The only way to make it tick down, become acute, is to pop your Malevolence, which will add stacks and tick down, and then we'll stop when the Malevolence goes away right now. It should. Did earlier. Either way, yeah, maybe it's working now. I don't know. Earlier it wasn't. The point being, it is indeed now permanent with Absolute Corruption, which is nice because if you're playing talents like wherever it is, good God, where's the button? There we go. Like Hate Fury Rituals, it reduces the duration of Wither, which is already sort of short, makes it even faster, but deals basically 50% more damage. Now, in the end, is it better to play Siphon Life for the 5% additional damage increase to Wither versus AC? Yes, but at the same time, like, playing this and everything else, and the minor difference here in damage, having it work with AC in general is just cool regardless. And quality of life-wise, solid. I've had Withers drop at like 9-10 stacks and plus because I was slow on my seed cast. With AC, won't be a problem. So huge plus there. Very excited about that. That's very cool to see. I gotta log out to stop these effects from ticking. That's okay. Very cool to see. So, moving on from there, we are heading into Soul Harvester. Eternal Servitude now reduces the duration of Feldom by 90 seconds. Was 120. So this was that instant cast pet summon I talked about last night. That lasted a whole day. Oh, this is still not working right. Okay. We got a hearth, I guess. Cool. That's that lasted a whole day basically. So what you could do, you could basically take Eternal Servitude, reduce Fel Domination by 120 seconds, being 2 minutes. And there's a new talent in your tree here that reduces it by another minute. So it was basically permanent instant cast Feldoms, right? No cooldown instant pets. That's gone. This is probably irrelevant then, but hey, you know, it was cool while it lasted for a whole 2 days. Yeah. Shared Fate is now capped, or I guess square-rooted, DR'd past 8 targets. Shared Fate is the talent right here. I'll swap, basically here. The one that basically blew the world up whenever I was in that dungeon with the bees and destroyed that whole trash pack. Not surprised they square-rooted it, you know, DR'd it. It needed to be, just sort of how it is. One big change, though, is to Soul Anathema. Unleashing your demonic soul bestows basically puts a dot on target. It dots the target you're attacking with your soul, whatever, right? They added a clause to it how Devouring Plague works. When Soul Anathema is reapplied, any remaining damage will be added to the new Soul Anathema. This is actually really big because Shadow of Death for Affliction is like Soul Rot based. And whenever you pop Shadow of Death, you know, when you're playing with Soul Rot and all that, and Soul Harvester, you're going to have every single Rapture for that entire 15-second duration, summoning your inner demon, or whatever it's called, right? Which will permanently apply Soul Anathema. Now, previously, it would just reapply Anathema over and over, and it was like, okay, well, this is just... These are still active. Good lord. This is just sort of how it's going to be. You would refresh it infinitely and not like gain any damage. But now it will stack the damage. So I'm going to show you two things here. One, we got a new visual on our Shadow of Death here. It's like a little dude that comes out of a portal. Check this out. He is right here. Whenever I rapture, there's the portal, and there he is. It happens every time. Not this. This is a Shadow Priest thing. But it's very cool. It's like a backpack that follows you around. At the same time, these Soul Anathemas are going, if I dot it here, when I rapture again, will be reapplied and stack damage on top of each other. So it's like how Devouring Plague is. It's actually a pretty big buff to Soul Harvester. It's solid. I think it's good. And it's probably flying under the radar a bit here. So that's solid. Cool. Good to see. Getting into Affliction briefly here, trying to speed this up. Inevitable Demise has been removed. It is gone. It has now been replaced by Improved Malefic Rapture. Still 2 points here. Increase the damage of Rapture by 5 and 10%, reduces his cast time by 10% or 20%, which is interesting. Relinquish was nerfed to 1.1 shard generation, down from 1.25. Not surprising. It's pretty wild with like this and Soul Conduit and the Mark of Perthorn with Hellcaller. Is what it is. Expected that, honestly. You have Volta Agony now being reduced past 8 targets, and Cold of the Week's been redesigned. This is the one over here, the uncapped Inferno version of Affliction that would do insane damage mass AoE. They made it increase Rapture by 4 and 8% for each enemy hit up to 5 targets, so it's actually relevant in single target in a sense, and even more relevant in AoE. And the Volatile Agony thing here is this. So whenever you refresh Agony, less than 10 seconds remaining, it'll refresh and splash damage around it, but it is doing reduced damage to targets beyond 8. So there's that. Some capping abilities, cap Shared Fate, cap this essentially, cap this, but not surprising. The ID removal is interesting. I still think there's too many 2-point nodes in this tree. They need to be brought down to 1. But, I mean, we'll see what happens there. Talk about that in a minute here when we get into Demonology. I would love to see, like, these Malediction and Contagion, like, keep their full 2 out of 2 buff, but go to 1-point talents. Because, like, there's just a lot of 2-point talents in this tree, and it makes pathing hard in AoE to get everything you want, and in single target to get everything you want. But, let's take a look at the Demonology Overhaul, and yeah. Alright, so, Demonology. My thoughts on Demonology changes here, we're going to read through them. I'm going to try and leave this over here and this over here to show you guys. Pretty much all the abilities that are part of, like, the Overhaul are passive. There really isn't, good lord, any kind of, like, new thematic, you know, like, new pet or anything. They're literally all passive abilities, barring Doom. Now, I'm not, like, mad about that. I'm just not really excited. It's just like, okay, whatever. I'm sort of indifferent to it, right? Like, because they all increase, like, pet damage, which is what they want for Demonology. They want you to be, like, a consistent pet damage kind of machine, right? Let's read through them. So, Shadowcaster, which is right here, replace Demonic Knowledge. Increase the damage of Hand of Gul'dan by 20% and Demon Bolt by 10%. A lot of Demon Bolt and Shadow Bolt damage amps in this tree. Keep that in mind. New talent here, Pactive Arid Ruin or whatever. When Doom is removed, which is right here, this is actually one of your capstones, you summon a Doom Guard, a guaranteed chance at a Doom Guard, that casts 5 Doom Bolts before departing. I would assume it volleys as well. Doom is bugged. We can't test it right now. Spoilers ahead. Yeah, so it's shadow damage, right? And then we also have Doom here. I'll scroll down and look at it. So Doom has been redesigned, inflicts impending Doom upon the target, dealing shadow damage and as additional shadow, dealing shadow damage and an additional shadow damage to enemies within 10 yards after 20 seconds. So basically, whenever it expires, right? It's like Doom Brand sort of, but you apply it manually by casting the ability itself, right? Consuming a demonic core reduces the duration of Doom Brand by 3 seconds per core. Or sorry, but Doom by 3 seconds, not Doom Brand. And Doom itself has a half-minute cooldown. So basically that cooldown, I would assume, is there to, like, make it not spammable on multiple mobs and M+, not having to, like, juggle a dot as Demonology, like you would as AF. The way I look at this is, you run into a pack and plus, find a low health target, wherever, just throw it on a mob and start doing damage. That's it. If the target dies with Doom on it, it does, yes, indeed pop and do damage around your targets. Same as Doom Brand, right? You have to, like, juggle and decide, okay, do I want to Doom Brand again here in this pack? If it comes off cooldown and the pack isn't dead yet, or do you want to hold for the next pack? It's likely relevant in AoE. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. I would prefer just having Doom Brand personally, having like a Hand of Doom to apply it, or having like just Doom Bolt or Doom Bolt apply it. Honestly, I think our tier set's fine. Like make this 2-piece, make this 4-piece, and it's fine. But I get they want to have like some kind of relevancy with Doom. We'll see where it goes. I mean, it's definitely a different version of it. I don't mind it. I'm sort of indifferent to it, but it's like, all right, you know, is it capstone worthy? I don't know. Probably not, but you know, there's that. We'll come back to this though. So we have Mark of Shatug. These two dogs here, Farg and Shatug, are the dogs from Antorus, the hellhounds you fought, the purple and green ones, which is pretty cool. Wicked Maw now causes targets to take 20% additional shadow damage from your demons. This is right here. So this actually comes out. Sorry, it's here. There you go. Right. This is worded awkwardly. I don't know why this is worded weirdly. No, this is Mark. Basically, Mark of Shatug is below Wicked Maw. Wicked Maw is old Howlmaster stratagem, the old Shadow Flame application. When dogs run in, they chomp, they bite, and apply a Dread Bite, which increases your implosion damage. Mark of Shatug, whatever, is below that, which makes them take additional shadow damage. You can indeed AoE this, I believe. Shadow damage is like Soul Strike. It is your Doom Guard volleying Doom bolts, right? Shadow damage. At the same time, I think your dog's Dread Bite is shadow damage, right? So it increases that a bit. Ferocity of this guy increases the attack speed of your Dread Stalkers by 20%, 10, 20, and their crit strike chance by 15 and 30. Right here, there it is. Rune of Shadows increases all damage on your pets by your pet by 4%. I'm assuming Felguard. Reduces the cast time of Shadow Bolt by 25% and increases its damage by 40%. This is, I think, over here. You're casting Shadow Bolts so fast, at least I am right now. I'm hitting GCD, basically. I'm hitting GCD pretty much. They are very fast with the haste that I have. We'll see where that goes. They are very fast. They might need to tune that a little bit. Not really sure how that's going to go. But, I mean, like, they did hit our core economy a bit, but we're casting some fast Shadow Bolts. So, and they hit harder, too. So there's that. Something else here, Demonic Brutality. Crit strikes from your spells and your demons deal 4% increased damage. I think this is sitting right here. Right there. Yep. Sorry, it's 4 and 8 because there's two talents there, right? Let me see, what else do we have here? Improved Demonic Tactics. Increases your primary Felguard's crit strike chance equal to 30% of your crit strike chance. This is a pretty good note, I'm assuming. Looks to be pretty solid. Very strong, and likely worthwhile everywhere. Now, what's been removed? Demonic Knowledge, Nether Portal, Ner'zhul, Skul'dan, Stolen Power, Heavy-Handed, and also Soulbound Tyrant. Our 5-shard refund ability from Tyrant is gone. It was not baked in. That'll definitely be in the feedback video a couple days from now. Baked that in the Tyrant passively. It's now just like Tyrant into Ram Warlock's Design and Ram of Tyranny. That is gone. Sack Souls and things moved around a bit here. So those are the changes. They're basically all passive. I'm not like excited about them, but I'm not like disappointed. Demo plays the same way in alpha, barring Doom, if you're even playing it, as it does on retail right now. Obviously, and which is like fine to me. Obviously, I want my Tyrant to do more damage, so I want like this to be good or this to be good. But besides that, it plays how it does on retail. But I want to hit on the class tree path, or sorry, the spec tree pathing, because that's where I think the problem lies, and will likely end up changing in the next few builds. Like I said, most of the abilities are passive. They just increase pet damage. That's okay. I think Demo plays fine for the most part the way it is now. I think the placement of the new talents, some of them, basically like from this part of the tree down, needs to be looked at a good bit. And it likely will be, based on feedback. I think like as far as Locke's been concerned for Alpha, they've basically hit everything out of the park, barring these talents. I have to use a bit of retooling with talents too, but sure, let's get into this. So I tried to construct a single target build here. I'm going to reset it and we'll do it from the start, right? So we're going to delete this. I want to build a single target demonology build, right? So I want dogs. I want demon bolts. I want this, which is hand Gul'dan, demon bolt time. I don't want this. I want soul strike and this likely. Anilian training. I'll take this. Just attack speed increase, very strong. Obviously damage increase to your pet and shadow bolt cast time. I want this. I want demonic strength. We want carnivorous likely. We want Grimoire Felguard, obviously. New icon for him too, very cool. I want demonic calling. I want Imperator, and I'm gonna take Shadow's Bite for, you know, power siphon, inner demons, and we are basically here. So we've reached this point in the tree where I want to grab a handful of talents still in single target, right? I mean, I definitely want Dread Calling. I want Spiteful Recon in single target, and you know, that's okay. But the problem I run into is I also want, you know, improved demonic tactics, and I likely want demonic brutality. So let's keep building around that. I'm gonna grab demonic tactics, which is good. I'm gonna grab demonic brutality, and then I want to grab Dread Calling, right? So we're gonna grab this, but we only have 10 points left, and I also want Spiteful Recon, right? So let's say I grab this, and say we skip Recon, which is good in single target, and we go from there. All right, I want to grab Entorin, I want to grab Inferno Command, I want to grab more Immutable Hatred, right? Obviously. I have 5 talent points left. So where do I go from here? Because I want to grab Expendables, I want to grab Tyrant, I got to go through Sack Souls, and like this node to me feels really out of place. The single target build looks better than the AoE build. I'll say that as well. I can go and grab Tyrant, I can grab Reign of Tyranny or Grand Warlocks if it's worthwhile. But then I have 1 point left. And like, where do I put this? I can put it in like over here in Ferocity of Faharg, I can put it in Pact of Nightmare, I can put it in Spiteful Recon. But I feel like I'm committing a lot of points in this vicinity, like 2 in Demonic Brutality, 2 in Dread Calling, and there's other nodes that I want in single target that I can't necessarily get, right? Like I want to have Imp Mother, I want to have maybe even Ferocity of Faharg or whatever, right? But I can't get it. At the same time, having Sack Souls here just feels really out of place. I don't want this at all in AoE. Like an M+, I don't want it at all. This is like Seize Vitality was for AF. You got to pay the bad toll to get to the good ability, which is annoying, right? And like things can change, obviously, in single target. It might be a case of, hey, you just don't get to play certain nodes that seem good in single target. That's the way it is. But single target constructing is not as bad necessarily. I want to show you how AoE looks though. So let's reset this. Let's go. All right, building AoE M+ build, right? So we're gonna go Dread Stalkers, Dread Lash, all this stuff here, grabbing the usuals, bang, 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 this, Shadowcaster, Implosion, Siphon, Inner Demons. I'm gonna grab Malefic Impact, Grimoire. I'm gonna grab Shadow Invocation, because you play that. I want Recon for sure here. I want Belt Under for sure. But now I'm in a really weird spot. So I have 2 points left. I have 12 points in my tree total left right now. But I want to grab Demonic Calling. I want to grab Imp Gang Boss. I don't want to. Let me rephrase that. I have to. I have to grab Dread Calling. I sort of have to grab Improved Tactics. I'd like to also grab Demonic Brutality. So let's say we do that. We have to grab Imp Gang Boss or Umbral Blaze to get over here in the AoE part of the tree. Wicked Maw, all the Dog Cleave, and Doom's over here. So we're not taking this in AoE. We have to take Imp Gang Boss, and it's 2 points. I think Imp Gang Boss and this should be 1 point, because 2 points in both these takes a lot. We're already into our final 10 points here in a capstone row. I gotta spend 4 up here to get down here still, right? So let's say we're going up here. I want to get Imp Gang Boss. I want to grab Demonic Calling, obviously. I want to grab Demonic Tactics, and then I gotta spend 2 in here, Dread Calling, to get this row open, which we want this row open. I want to go here, here, here. I want to go to Guillotine. But then I add the points over here for Wicked Maw, for Mark of Shatug, Ferocity of Faharg, Doombrand. I don't even have my Tyrant. I got to put my last 2 points, 1 in Sack Souls and 1 in a Naked Tyrant, right? Like, it's really hard to construct a good tree for Cleave when it comes to Demo with this amount of talents, right? I mean, I could technically just straight up say, you know what, man, I'm not playing, I don't know, like Sunder. And I can go into here and Wicked Maw. And that's like it's 4, 5, 6, 7 points. Like, what else do you pull here, man? Like, it's really, maybe Malefic Impact, but you can't. You got to connect here somehow, right? You can't pull Grimoire. Like, what do? I was playing a no Tyrant build earlier, where I was playing, like, I think it was like this, in Dungeons. And, like, I think the problem with the Demo tree, obviously Sack Souls needs to like be moved from this spot. Put like Expendables here, put something else here, but Sack Souls, I think we should delete the ability. We don't need it anymore. It's whatever. We have enough abilities we can tune around. Sack Souls is like just gross. I don't like it in the first place. But being here in the middle of your talents, like it's a pure single target node, just feels gross. And paying a toll to get the Tyrant feels even worse too. So they could bump Tyrant up here to where Sack Souls is again. Bring back Soulbound Tyrant, the 5-shard thing, and make it a 1 talent point. It's currently 2 on retail. Make it 1, just 1 talent point. You get 5 shards on every Tyrant. So it would go like Tyrant here, Soulbound Tyrant here, 1 rank, just 5 shards. And you have Reign of Tyranny in your Grand Warlock design, or just put Soulbound Tyrant into Tyrant, right? But either way, this is awkward right here. Definitely a pathing issue. Or realistically, you can make these 1 talent points, and that would free up a lot of space for you, right? But like, Umbral Blaze is awkward, not really played really anywhere. Cavitation's good. It can be a 1 talent point for sure. Any of these could be. Any 4 of these could be. They all probably 4 should be. All 5 probably should be, right? Yeah, I can't even get Brutality here. So it's like, what do you do? You know? And I feel like the more I look at it, like these talent points here, Shadow Invocation and Fellow Invocation, they're very cool. But they were added in patch 10.2. These, like, talent nodes, like these actual raw talents, these circles here, weren't here. It led from Strength into Imperator, Strength this into this. And these 2 talents were also added in 10.1. You didn't have any of these 4 talents here. You basically had Demonic Strength into Demonic Calling and Soul Strike into Inner Demons right here. And the trees become so, and this is also, I think this was added later on, maybe, but the trees become really bloated when it comes to like just having so many talents. And you got this row of 2-point talents here. It makes it hard to fill in your talent points, right? So I went through and looked at, you know, talent points from other specs and classes and stuff. And you can see my notes here. So I pulled it up. Demo has 50 talent points, meaning like all the 1 and 2 points combined, like, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 50. AF has 42. It's been changed a good bit. And AF has a lot of 2-point nodes that still make it hard to find your full single target AoE build, but it's getting there, right? Destruction has 56 talent points available to it. Arcane has 45. Frost 43. Fire 45. BM has 48. And I went through these trees for Mage. They have, I think Fire has 1 node that has 2 ranks in it. Every other node is 1 talent point. Like, I'm not lying. You can pull it up on Wowhead. Like, I'm not, I'm not jealous. But, like, I'm jealous. Like, so like, to summarize how I feel, I don't think like the new talents are like bad. They're all passive. If you're looking for like, you know, big crazy demons coming out and just swinging and slashing, it's not what we got. They're all passive, but if you like how Demo plays right now, it's going to play the same. Boring, hopefully buffing Tyrant more. The problem is the pathing when it comes to different abilities and stuff. I think a lot of these talents can just become 1 talent points, similar to what Mage has, to what BM Hunter has, or I think it was BM Hunter. Other classes that have a lot more 1 talent points, and just it becomes so much more fluent. You can put your 10 points down in your bottom row here, not 6 or 7, and be talenting into single target abilities to get your main cooldown, right? So hopefully when things change, they're going to change, obviously. I have full faith and confidence they can do it. They've done a good job at everything else. Like Diabolus, Hellcaller, Soul Harvester are all really sick. The AF Overhaul, been very cool so far. A couple little things here and there with a talent bloat at the same time, but some retooling of like talents here, like rank 2s to just 1 rank talent needs to be done. Please get this out of here. Put Soulbound Tyrant back in the Tyrant or something like that, and just, you know, we can go from there. But as far as overall changes, I mean, Diabolus was not nerfed. Soul Harvester was buffed. Hellcaller was fixed. Wither works with AC. And I think, like, putting aside the pathing in the tree, looking at just these straight-up abilities for Demonology and how they were changed and what they are, it's fine. I'm not mad about it. I'm not happy about it, but it's like, it's fine. It will work. Demonology at its core right now in retail works. It's just, you know, they're building upon that passive damage core for War Within, but the pathing is the main issue. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and it helped clarify on some things you might not have been sure about for Demonology, AF, and the general changes that Warlock got in this week's alpha build. Now, I think, like I said, the Demo talents are just, they're all passive. I don't mind it a crazy amount. I was hoping for something else, like more thematically, like, you know, some like capstone. It's like a Pit Lord, like, I don't know. I envision like some kind of Pit Lord capstone. You summon a Pit Lord on a 2-minute cooldown. Whenever you spend shards, it empowers the Pit Lord, and the talent below it, like, it lasts longer. Something like that, thematically for Demonology. But at the same time, playing Diabolus Demo feels incredibly thematic in the first place. If you enjoy the way Demonology plays on retail right now, it plays the exact same in War Within, you know, barring having Diabolist or Soul Harvester around. So not bad. I'm curious to see where it goes. There's likely going to be a lot of changes to the actual talent tree itself. I think it's just, like I said, a bit bloated when it comes to talents, both 2-point nodes in certain spots, and just talents being a bit bloated in general. Probably in the next few weeks, see some changes to that, and go from there. Once again, the talents I'm sort of indifferent on, but they're all passive, and they all increase pet damage, which is what they want for Demo. So we will see where that goes. If you'd like a link to the actual changes article or whatever, I'll have it down below in the description, as well as my Twitch and Discord links for any weekly auras, profiles, and add-ons like to acquire. They're all for free for you guys. Before ending the video, a huge shout out, like always, from my patrons. For all supporting on Patreon, thank you a million times, guys. I greatly appreciate it. If you're looking at supporting on Patreon, should be a link up here, as well as down below in the description. Now, I will be playing more Demonology on Alpha this weekend, maybe today or Saturday, dungeon-wise, also a bit of S4 stuff, but I want to see how Soul Harvester feels. Some of the changes they made to Soul Anathema and stuff also, I think, are flying under the radar, and I feel like hero talents have all been good for Warlock. The AF overhaul has been pretty solid for the most part. I'm pretty dang happy with it. Demo, once again, we'll see where it goes. I was hoping for more thematically, but, you know, the main concern for me is the actual talent tree and just pathing because, you know, yeah. We'll talk about it in the feedback video in a few days and all that. All that being said, thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, hit the like and sub buttons below. Helps out a ton, and I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.